commentary team of Paul Wallace and Will Chignall.
Thanks very much, Simon. Well, this is a season in which Ireland have made significant strides towards their goal, namely to be one of the best sides in the world. But this team really does need to turn up today, and the late news, of course, is that Jordan Murphy has a chest infection, so he withdraws. Tyrone Howe takes his shirt on the left wing. The centre partnership is Kevin Maggs at 12, Brian O'Driscoll at 13. Gordon Darcy, of course, out injured, a groin injury picked up last match. Shane Horgan, who was due to play inside centre, reverts back to the right wing. Well, they've shown they can cut down the game's finest, Ireland away from home, the win at Twickenham. But this is a real test of the mind as well as the body, and this is a very confident South Africa side that's up against them, of course. There's 2 selectorial changes, 1 late injury withdrawal from 7 days ago. A huge blow yesterday as the man of the match, and 2-try hero Bakkies Botha failed a fitness test on a damaged ankle. Quinton Davids moves into the second row. Percy Montgomery fills Happy Detroit's shirt at fullback. The Springbok management will hope he brings a better return than 50% success at goal than Detroit managed. Jack Fourie is on the left wing and Immense is dropped. It's a young side, an impressive back row trio of Berger, Wannenberg and Cronje have an average age of just 22. And there we see the replacements. The brother of back rower Jack Cronje, second row Gio moves up to the bench thanks to Botha's face injury. The only young cap player in Ireland's 22, Gavin Duffy, waits for his chance. It is a significant loss to Ireland, or is it, Paul, losing Jordan Murphy?
The Irish backline played very well yesterday, or last week, when they got a bit of room. Horgan and O'Driscoll combined very well, so I think Horgan moving out gives them an extra option there, especially with Maggs hard running in the inside. But saying that, Jordan Murphy is a class player.
Well, it's Ireland's 15th test of the year, and the emphasis has again been on quality training rather than quantity this week. O'Sullivan feels that his side have been galvanising into something special in the lead up to this clash. Now it's time for the talking to stop and the promises to be delivered. O'Driscoll's promised he'll leave nothing in the locker in his attempt to win this match. It's up to his side, 1-15, to follow him, to raise it to fever pitch and rip into the Springboks. In nearly 100 years of competition between these two countries, no Irish side has ever won here in South Africa. The players know it, the fans know it. Can they create history today?
I think Ireland can do it today, but it's going to take an even bigger effort than Twickenham. The Springboks are now a young, confident side, and as we've seen before, the Springboks are very capable of upping their game as they get more confident. Ireland, as underdogs, I think, will bring a little bit more out of the locker than they did last week.
Well, it's pumping here. The crowd are noisy and passionate, and the bookies make these Springboks favourite. Ireland's underdogs, as you said, Paul. It's just how they traditionally like it, but it's going to be difficult for the Irish now with this young Springbok side with their tails up.
Yes, but I think there's, with Bakkies Botha crying off, it should help the Irish line-out maybe get a bit of dominance and put a bit of pressure on their line-out. And, you know, the Irish side all season has really depended on their line-out success, so hopefully that'll give them a good platform up front to launch the likes of O'Driscoll, Horgan, Maggs.
Well, Brian O'Driscoll accepted Ireland got beaten in the physicality stakes last weekend. Ronan O'Gara felt they played a lot of the game in second gear. They've got to find full throttle against this side. Quinton Davids there, the late replacement for Bakkies Botha. The Springboks said they were very nervous last week. 5 made their debuts, now the shackles may be loosened. Just the start that the skipper wanted. Scout Berger's been talking of war this weekend. Maybe slightly over-dramatic, but it does give an indication of the abrasive attitude the Springboks have. The home side are expecting a physical onslaught from Ireland. But you feel they won't just sit back and take it.
No, it's, you know, the end of a long, hard season, but they're on holidays now from 5 o'clock this evening here in South Africa, and they won't be leaving anything behind in trying to make a bit of history for Ireland rugby.
Well, the papers here have been building up the Springboks, talking of a new era in South African rugby. The pressure and expectation mounts already. From no-hopers to a golden era in the space of 7 days, it does change so quickly.
Yeah.
To sing the South African national anthem, Cape Town's own, the runner-up in Idols last row,
of course, Ireland beaten up front, outscored 4 tries to 1. There is a whiff of revenge in the air. The conditions are excellent. Beautiful sunny day, slightly greasy surface, and a good crowd here. Good Irish presence as well, preferring Cape Town largely to Bloemfontein. Now the national anthems. It is building up to fever pitch here. Ireland's last game of their long season. The Springboks want a springboard into the Tri-Nations. Will they get it, do you think?
I certainly think so. A big start is needed from Ireland. They were very slow out of the blocks up in Bloemfontein, but I'm sure they'll well psyched up for this one and will come out all guns blazing.
Percy Montgomery back, obviously so important, kicking 4 posts after a broken hand in the last game of his domestic season. And your referee is Joel Judge of France. He's not renowned for trying to blow the pee out of the whistle. He usually likes a free-flowing game. Be interesting how he whistles the breakdown.
Very much so. South African rugby, players are very slow to roll away after tackling a player, and we saw that it slowed down a lot of Irish momentum last week. So if they can try and either clean the players or get the referee's attention to it, it might free up a bit of quick ball for the Irish side.
Slight change in the IRB World Rankings. Ireland slipped to 6th and South Africa take their place at 5th. Could all change round again after 80 minutes of rugby. Jaco van der Westhuizen switches sides. These early minutes also important. Which side is going to settle best and the earliest? Ball secured for the visitors, whipped out by Stringer. Ronan O'Gara clears his lines.
It's great control play by Ireland. You get O'Gara getting a good clearance kick and getting a bit of structure into their game, not leaving the South Africans break up the game.
Well, the line-out worked very efficiently last weekend for John Smith. Taken by Matfield, Dupree, Berger. He likes a bit of bash, doesn't mind the physicality. Ireland trying to slow that one up and trying to turn it around. Not going to happen. Dupree, that was a knock-on, and the referee has seen it.
You see the real attitude of the Irish side now in the first hit in this scrum. There's a lot of complaints about Andrew scrummaging being a little bit illegal. Maybe something the South Africans have complained about Northern Hemisphere rugby before. So Hayes against Durant, also very important. He keeps him pinned down and sends a solid platform for Stringer.
Stay all.
South Africa with a significant advantage in terms of weight. Stringer to get ready to put the ball in, but he'll want his platform just right.
Shoulders. Okay. This is enough. Russian hold. Stay hold. Stay hold.
Corrigan up against Andrews. Durant against Hayes.
Stay back. Stay running.
Foley at the tail. Stringer. O'Gara playing for territory. Slightly greasy surface.
Yeah, that was a great solid platform with Hayes really keeping the scrum together, giving O'Gara a great time to put a great tactical kick in and give Ireland field position. Nicely played. Percy Montgomery, of course, playing fullback. Couldn't do anything about it, but it will be Springbok ball.
Number 4.
It's important the Irish second row pairing get up very early and put a bit of pressure on John Smith. He seems to be getting up too late. Even Smith hit his jumpers very easily.
And that was well taken by Wanneberger now. Drive upfield. South Africa got a couple of those last test match, and Ireland will be keen to cut those off at source. Montgomery put under pressure. Beautiful hit with his left foot. The crowd erupt.
Yes, I think South Africa are also trying to look for a bit of a structured game, obviously welcoming back Percy Montgomery after his time away in Wales.
Well, he's been nearly 3 years out of international rugby. He is supremely talented. Not always the darling of South African supporters, but got a good cheer there. Taken well. O'Gara. Wallace takes it up and tackled by Berger.
Okay, the ball is don't play wide. Okay, beyond.
The ball pits back. Horgan, who trained all week at centre, but of course, thanks to Jordan Murphy's chest infection, he goes back to his wing, and now it's O'Driscoll who gives that a heck of a thump. Oh, that is inch perfect.
What a kick by O'Driscoll. He had 1 or 2 shockers last week, but it's maybe sometimes been one of the weaker parts of his game, but that was just excellent. Puts Ireland in a very strong position, but imperative they get up now.
O'Driscoll's so dangerous with ball in hand, and he can also be quite ruthless, kicking as well as he showed there. Ireland trying to make a mess of the South Africa line-out, and they are pouring through here. Springboks under pressure.
Stay back.
Count just a couple of metres from their own line. Montgomery waits onto his left foot. He can't get much distance.
That's great harrying by the Irish side. Maybe traditional Irish rugby, chasing through, giving them no time to clear. And this is it now, a throw in a very dangerous position for the Irish side. And their ball has been looking very good all season. I can see there O'Kelly coming through, Easterby, Connell hitting the rock.
Taken well at the front, and Foley drives forward, legs pumping, and this is looking good for Ireland. Want to get the first points of the afternoon.
Stay back, White.
Stringer driven on by O'Connell. Tackles come in.
Number 9 White. Advantage green.
Advantage
Offside
being
line.
played
Advantage
to
green.
Ireland. Stringer, O'Gara. Tackles come up very quickly, but they'll go back for the penalty.
Offside, number 9.
What a sparky start from Ireland.
Number 11.
The Irish side
11-2.
looking much more aggressive than they were
Offside.
last week. Really sort of taking the game to the Springboks. Unfortunately, I don't think you can run close around the fringes, especially close to the line. They're very physical in that area.
Well, this is a statement of intent from Ireland.
11,
O'Gara
please.
dabs it
11.
into the corner.
Be careful.
Over to you, Shane Byrne, he says.
I wouldn't be betting against a catch and drive from this position with Shane Byrne at the back, leaving the Donkeys do the hard work and maybe dotting down for a try.
Byrne then. And now Ireland work their way infield, counter drive from the Springboks. But Ireland still have this one, and they're looking very dangerous. Driven around the fringes now. Desperate defence from the Springboks. Stringer, O'Gara, O'Driscoll, Horgan, he's big and strong, just clattered to the ground, but there's a chance out wide here. The pass needs to be perfect. It is! It's Tyrone Howe!
Fabulous interplay by the Irish backline. O'Driscoll and Horgan, always an exciting combination in the centre, but as wing and centre communicating very well. But a great pass over the top to Howe. This is great here. O'Driscoll draws the defence well. They come in, no, they didn't stay on their men. Howe was left free on the outside, but great vision again by O'Driscoll to pass that ball over the top of the two defenders.
Tyrone Howe comes in to the 15 and makes an immediate impact. Thank you very much, skipper, he says.
Tyrone will be very happy with that. You know, only a few years ago he was looking at retiring from the game before he got his first cap. Now he's had a British Lions tour and scoring tries in test games in South Africa. It's a great credit to him sticking at the game.
Ireland will want 7 though, not 5. O'Gara says, I can provide that. The flags are raised. What a start from Ireland. And I think they made it abundantly clear how much they want to
On the right and the
take
left.
the spoils
right,
and create
left.
history today.
Okay.
It's fabulous play. Stringer finding O'Driscoll, drawing the defence. I think players, when O'Driscoll gets a bit of space like that, he just draws the defenders in, but bad organisation again out wide by the South African defenders.
Stringer, O'Driscoll put under a little bit of pressure, so he puts his head
On the
down
feet. Okay.
to create the platform. O'Gara put under pressure,
Your side, 6.
does very well. South Africa take it quickly. Montgomery on his home ground, straightened, but it's caught by Easterby.
Hands off, Green, hands off.
Dupree works the short side. Fourie. Dupree keeping the ball alive. Maybe playing with a bit of width here. Joubert chips it through, pulses after it. Gervin Dempsey sweeps up.
Be careful. On the kick.
South African side are really trying to stretch the Irish defence. They're playing from touchline to touchline, trying to create gaps, but the Irish defence held very well together, and Dempsey covered, as he always does, clearing up any kick-throughs or messy ball.
And critically, it is, of course, Springbok ball, thanks to that little nudge through. But not for long, because Ireland take that up through David Watts.
Okay. Stay here.
Stringer, O'Gara, O'Driscoll. Took 2 or 3 to bring him down, but Osterrand was the man who made the tackle, and the turnover was achieved, the pass wasn't.
It looked like O'Gara was passing the ball to O'Driscoll to do a wiper with him having less pressure on a block down. But for some reason O'Driscoll decided to run uncharacteristically from there. Maybe he saw the gap, but you know, you just got to clear your lines from there.
Marius Joubert was up very quickly to try and force that indecision.
It's okay.
maybe O'Gara should have just taken the pressure himself and, you know, tried a short clearance.
Taken at the tail by Simon Easterby. Now Ireland thunder their way upfield. Hayes, Stringer hoists it high. He's underneath it, so is Horgan. Puts his shoulder into the catcher. The ball though comes back to Jakob van der Westhuizen. Hubert pulls us outside him again, decides to chip it, but straight down Dempsey's throat. Dempsey playing for territory, but that wasn't his finest moment.
Very uncharacteristic clearance by Gervin Dempsey, one of the most solid fullbacks in world rugby. Covered very well. I think South Africans aren't going to leave Ireland get field position domination today by kicking the ball down.
See Ireland with 70% possession and a 7-0 lead. Over the top, Dupree, he wants to have a run. Ireland slowing that ball up.
No, please stop. I didn't see. My watch goes here.
The Springboks looking as though they're going forward, so they will get the put in.
Yeah.
Again, a throw over the top. And the South Africans are so physical on that loose ball, carrying it on. Very athletic forwards and backs.
Cross and hold. Stay hold. Stay hold. Engage.
Good position, big short side
Don't move.
for the Springboks.
Stand up, please. For you, too early. It was too
This will
early.
be a more pressurised scrum now for Hayes, as Durant found his feet after the first 2 or 3 scrums the last day.
Hayes and Durant on this near side. Ball put in by Dupree.
Right, cross
Penalty
right.
though.
Cross right. You.
Again, Durant coming in on Hayes. A couple of decisions went against them in the first half last week, but the Irish scrum is looking much more solid than it did last week.
O'Gara can take his time and rifle this ball upfield. Safe touch found on the halfway.
Again, the Irish maul did very well when they had possession against South Africa, especially around the midfield. So they might be looking to. Oh no, they've actually gone short here. So they'll be looking at trying to hit the big runners. Probably Wallace in the midfield.
O'Kelly only got one paw on it, but just enough to push it back Ireland's way. Stringer.
Knock on, Green. Knock on.
At the base, there was a.
Some small errors creeping in now.
Ball. Stay like this.
One
no
small
ball.
knock on from each of these scrum halves so far then. The forwards continue to crash horns. The Springboks will feel they got the upper hand last week, winning the psychological as well as the physical battle with that pushover try, but Ireland are getting the whistle.
Yeah, Corrigan there, a bit of an old head complaining to the referee to get his attention around to the far side, as Andrews had been. They complained about him a lot in the press this week. He tends to bring the scrum quite low, and obviously it's worked maybe all the media attention in that penalty for Ireland.
Joel Judge making it abundantly clear to John Smith. Smith, of course, will know what he's talking about. He was a loose head at school, only reverted to hooker when he was 21. So Ireland opting for the scrum.
Stay running, stay running.
O'Gara playing for territory. Montgomery races across, the ball kicks up for him nicely.
Don't play, you're offside, you're offside. Don't play. Play up.
Stringer, Dempsey, he's got time.
Don't play Green, don't play Green.
He thumps it back.
Play up.
Van der Westhuizen sets himself. Gets hold of that well.
South Africa aren't going to fall into the territorial trap of trying to run the ball back, and Ireland, the pressurised defence of the Irish actually putting them back in their own half.
Ireland coach Eddie O'Sullivan conceded his team did not get the usual line-up platform, said it was sloppy and jittery last week. Be keen to get back to their imperious best. Nice work from Stringer. Organ was on his shoulder. And Hayes now.
On the feet.
Bouncing
Okay,
off a
stay
tackler. Stringer. O'Gara. Nasty one for O'Driscoll. And this is Paulson.
Right. Knock on green.
Knock on. Advantage being played to the Springboks.
Advantage right.
Montgomery. Paulson trying to wriggle his way through.
No advantage, handling.
Hands in there, it's a penalty to the Springboks.
Yeah, the defence was up very quickly on O'Driscoll. Maybe Ireland over-depend on him a bit too much, and it's a bit obvious how we're trying to get it to him in space. It might be interesting to, here we see it again. O'Gara goes to O'Driscoll, and yes, Joubert is right up on top of him, giving him no time at all.
Paulson's good when he's got space, and even better when he's got very little. So, Percy Montgomery, who puts great stall in confidence as to whether he kicks well or not. He hit 27 kicks on the bounce earlier in the season. This is a different level, a different pressure, but it makes no difference. The crowd erupt. Montgomery gets what he came for, and that was a very useful 3 points.
Yeah, it was an important score for South Africa. Puts them a bit more in the game. They're getting a bit of field position now as well. Very important that Ireland don't leave South Africa set up a maul here. When they get up, they get them straight to ground, and they don't maul back and get the front foot on the Irish defence.
Catch wasn't clean, and it's a turnover, just what Ireland wanted. O'Gara, charge down. Dempsey comes up. Julie's with the tackle. The ball's a little bit loose, and Ireland need to secure it. The Springboks pour through. The ball, crucially for Ireland, is still on their side. Stringer, O'Gara, playing for the corner. Montgomery has no ankle, just gives himself a little bit and thumps that one upfield.
The South African defence again there, putting the Irish under pressure. Maybe the backliner line a bit too flat, not giving themselves enough time, and the outside men are getting a lot of pressure.
We'll stop for the moment. An injury to an Irish player. But these early exchanges have been very interesting, haven't they, Paul?
I see here Dempsey, he's really wrapped up. He gets the ball, you know, with no chance to do anything really, and actually did well to hang on to the ball, and obviously picked up a bang in the head there.
Gervin Dempsey waits. Brian O'Driscoll knows that on the bench is Gavin Duffy, who came in late, waiting to make his debut. Gavin Duffy's heart will be thumping, and Gervin Dempsey's head will be hurting.
I don't think there was anything cynical there, just a bit of a clash, maybe a shoulder creeping up a bit high.
Well, O'Gara's talked about Ireland playing 80% patterns and 20% tearing into the Springboks last match. He said, let's turn that around and make it 80% tearing into the opposition and Ireland's strength, and 20% patterns. Let's play heads-up rugby.
Yes, I think so. Both sides, it's quite a loose game so far, with a lot of pressurised defences. So neither side has really had a lot of chance to put a few.
Having a
Well, we apologise, we seem to have lost our pictures from Cape Town, but a decent start for Ireland. 7 points to 3, they'll be very satisfied, won't they, Conor?
Kicking corners, rolling O'Gara, Brown are just getting field position. Their line-outs functioning, they're taking them on up front and winning those confrontations. Just in the last couple of minutes, you've seen the Springboks become but nothing to fear for Ireland here, and everything to play for.
Bob, what have you made of the early exchanges?
Well, I think Ireland have definitely shored up their lineouts, which they struggled with. They came into the game last week with a reputation, and then they struggled in Wimbledon. And they not only were they solid on their ball, but they've been nicking a few of the South African balls. So it gives them a platform. If you've got a platform, you can attack, and they showed that with their try.
Certainly did. Just the start that Tyrone Howe would have wanted back into the team, but now Dempsey off and Duffy comes on. Big day for him.
It is a big day, yes. That's it's a bit of a disruption, but as Bobby said, line-out's going well.
O'Gara. Upfield by Wallace. Stringer again. O'Driscoll. Can't quite take it.
Very unlucky by O'Driscoll. He ran a very good line, but just was just a bit short of catching that ball.
Come right. Together, good. Together, good.
Gavin Dempsey with a nice back on. Gavin Duffy at fullback, making his debut. Big moment for him. Will the Springboks try and target him?
It's too early. Listen to me.
I think so. Van der Vest isn't exactly a kicking out half, but I'm sure with a new cap coming on, he'll be looking to put up maybe a couple of traditional Irish carry-ons.
Dupree waits to put the ball in.
Stay like this.
Now at the base. Taken up well by Jack Cronje. Dupree, Van der Vesthuizen, Julies. Berger clears. Ball pops back.
You play from the side.
Advantage being played to the Springboks. Playing in the side, he says to the Irish, and maybe the Springboks can try and cut open Ireland now through Percy Montgomery. They can. Montgomery still going into the 22, and the Springboks pile in. Ireland trying to slow it up. The Springboks want this ball quickly. Working the short side. The skipper now, Smith. Dupree, Van der Vesthuizen. Berger dropped very quickly. Dupree and Smith trying to play with a bit of width here. The Springboks going for the corner. Wanneberg tackled.
From the side.
Advantage again being played to the Springboks. In at the side. Taken quickly by the Springboks.
Heads off.
Dupree just short.
Stay back, Green.
It's slow ball. Van der Vesthuizen has a dart himself, but the door was closed very quickly.
No.
Great control and recycling. They're off again.
White.
Julies Hubert, good hands. Can Pulser finish this one? He loves it.
South Africa showed a lot of composure there. The Irish defence was very well organised, even if they were on the back foot. But they showed it by playing a lot of width, that the Irish side can get stretched very easily and then use their pace and power to exploit any gaps that appear.
The Springboks took advantage and played it wide.
Yeah, that's a great ball. And to be honest, O'Driscoll, we got very close to getting him. Especially, it is very disappointing because Gavin Duffy had already pulled off a try-saving tackle on the far end. The Irish defence came up, but we were really short on numbers. O'Driscoll got in, but you know, it's a lot of pace from Pulsa.
This game is really cooking now. South Africa 8, Ireland 7, but for how long? Because Montgomery is lining up another one. He is on fire.
Well, welcome back to Newland, Percy. He's a bit of a crowd favourite down here, not too popular up in the high veld. Here we go, Joubert did well. The Howe ran out of the line there when he saw that they were outnumbered. It was a 50-50 chance, but it just didn't come off.
This huge crowd having something to cheer about. South Africa with a 3-point lead now. Hoisted high from O'Gara, and
knock on White.
Ireland are really competing at the restarts.
Knock on in here.
Much better than last week.
They certainly are. I think the South African ball isn't being allowed set up. They're trying to get him to ground as quickly as they possibly can.
Cracking finishing from Pulser.
No, you please. That's all. Not here and not this.
Wingers take the glory.
Scrum again.
But it's up front where the forwards try to take the inches to give the backs the yards.
I think Ireland will be looking for a very solid platform. South African scrum will be targeting Hayes on the right-hand side so as to put the Irish scrum under pressure. I'm sure they'll be looking to try and get the ball maybe in O'Driscoll's hands or a hard line from Maggs. You know, the scrum these days can be a very good platform to attack from because you don't have any back row out there and there's a lot more gaps.
Please, you.
Paul O'Connell down at the moment. He helped rip apart England's line out in the Six Nations, rated as one of the world's best. He won't want to go off. Ireland will be desperate to keep him on as well.
Yeah, O'Connell was maybe a bit below his top form, his extraordinary form that he's had this season, but he's looking much fresher today, getting involved and doing a lot of the hard graft as well.
Judges telling the Springbok assistants to get off the paddock.
Time on.
They waddle off now.
Stay hold. Engage.
Ireland then, just outside the Springbok 22.
Use it.
Scott Berger eats up Stringer and the ball comes back South Africa's way. Julie's looking inside to Van der Westhuizen, who finds Pulser. Advantage being played to the Springboks.
Advantage.
Intentional knockdown.
South Africans just so physical around the breakdown. Berger, first of all, they had to put a lot of pressure on Hayes, twisting the scrum, leaving Berger an easy hit on Stringer and just out muscling the ball from him. The Irish basically were under too much pressure and had to give away a knockdown.
Yes, it was very good.
Good touch fine from Percy Montgomery. Dangerous on the turnover.
Yeah, Paulson takes it there very well, and as you can see, Foley had to go in. The ball was going straight to Durant. Maybe he should have stayed on the player rather than the ball.
Matfield takes it at the front. Smith complains to the touch judge, but it's Dupree. Van der Westhuizen flips it to his runner. Dupree again to Van der Westhuizen. Has a little look himself, and Montgomery can't take that one on the full. The try scorer, Pulser.
On your side, okay. No, release, okay. Don't play green,
Hubert Andrews. First real chance to drive it up from him. Hand in there from Ireland, so it's an advantage being played to the Springboks. And they'll try and make the most of this one. Dupree working the short side. Montgomery. Thunderous hit comes in. Ireland under pressure. Van der Westhuizen. Matfield. Julies. Goes himself and Horgan steps in.
It's okay,
it's relentless from the Springboks.
Green. Too late.
Advantage again being played to South Africa. Big pass. Smith just needed to release outside him. The judge will go back for the South African penalty.
South Africa putting so much pressure on the Irish defence. They're lining from one width of the pitch to the other, and it really does stretch the Irish defence. They've got very good hands, they're running very good lines, and the Irish defence is really just hanging in there. You can't come up too hard in case you miss a guy in that amount of space.
Captain, too many mistakes. Here, on this side, too many.
Juji's having a word with O'Driscoll, saying too many mistakes.
You play from the side sometimes, you stay.
The referee getting a little frustrated.
Yes, there's a lot of bodies piling up there, not two bodies looking to get away. This gives Montgomery a chance to extend the South African lead.
Well, 2 from 2, a hot shot marksman nowadays. He's back and stepping up to the plate here. Bang on target.
Yeah, there was a time in South African rugby where they questioned Montgomery's temperament, but he's looking very focused with a cool head under pressure.
South Africa 13 and Ireland stuck on 7 after that Howe try and O'Gara conversion. Ireland will be keen to get some territory, play down in this Springbok half. Taken cleanly by Matfield. He was so good last test match in this area. Ball goes up. New boy Duffy's underneath it, takes it well. Caught by Poulsen. Duffy rolls the right way and Stringer to O'Gara. O'Gara charged down.
You're offside, you're offside, okay?
Offside.
No, wait.
And Ireland have taken this one quickly. Eddie Andrews is not 10. O'Connell, legs pumping, takes it on.
10.
Referee says he weren't 10, so
Number 12,
Ireland will
please.
go
Number
back
12. You.
for the penalty.
Yeah, in a loose game,
10.
it's always good to have a pick and go like that, because invariably you'll get a lot of yardage, or someone will tackle you before the 10, give you a better position, and now O'Gara can maybe have a goal. He doesn't have the altitude like he had in Bloemfontein, but he's still well capable of getting that distance.
O'Gara kicked here yesterday, and the halfway line is probably about the extent of his range.
No, you're offside.
The Springbok skipper will be happy,
because it's a
and he
wide.
looks up at the scoreboard and sees 13-7 Springboks in the lead, but that could well be cut now. O'Gara kicked beautifully last test. He'll want to be ruthlessly efficient here. Just hitting the post, and now the Springboks drive out of their own 22. That was Cronje. Dupree with the box kick. Straight out, and he'll be pretty happy with that.
South Africa looking quite dominant now at this stage. They seem to be quite in control. They're running hard and physical at the Irish and really stretching the Irish defence, and also trying to get territorial dominance. And they've mostly been in the Irish half for the last 10 minutes.
Taken well at the line out, O'Gara, Maggs. Stringer, O'Gara, Driscoll. Beautiful from O'Driscoll, and this is Tyrone Howe. Chips over the top, but dragged down. The referee says play on, Dupree.
You're offside, don't pay.
Happy to clear his lines.
Don't pay, why? Don't pay. Okay.
Oh yeah, what a thump. But O'Driscoll's so dangerous in so little space.
He certainly was. He's just got great vision. For a man with bad eyesight, wearing contact lens, he just seems to spot the gap anywhere and always finds his man. Yeah, here we see O'Gara, a long flat pass to O'Driscoll. He half beats his man, but still has the vision and composure to go to Howe. Not having the pace of the cover defence, hope it's a good ball in behind.
On the second bite, the line out is secured by Ireland. O'Gara can have a little dart himself. Scoutberger dragged him down. Scoutberger's up on his feet so quickly to turn that ball around, and now there's a real chance for the Springboks. Van der Westhuizen dummied and went, and it gave O'Driscoll a chance to come back and cover. The threat isn't over yet, though, for Ireland. Driving round the fringes.
Knock on.
Little knock on.
Please.
Van der Westhuizen had 2-3 men outside and deciding to go himself. Stringer says, right, let's get this ball off the pitch. What a golden opportunity that was butchered there by Van der Westhuizen.
The South African forwards, when they're getting running, especially the back row, they just seem to be getting through the Irish defence and offloading very well. Have very good hands in a slightly slippery conditions after the weather last night. And we see Stringer cleans out well, but the ball pops back and off goes Wannenberg.
Scout Berger so dangerous on the floor.
Knock on.
Knock on there from Julies.
Number 4, please.
And that was
Knock
a big
on
escape
wide.
for Ireland.
Scrum green. Number 4,
Good
please.
pressure by the Irish defence.
Four.
A bit like the South African defence
Number
there
4,
earlier.
come in.
Getting right up in the faces, not giving them time, and hence
No,
the
no,
knock
no,
on
no,
for
no, no, no,
Julies.
no. The ball is inside, and you play from the side. Please, play with your head, okay?
Big scrum.
Play with your head, says the referee.
Time off.
But Ireland are also playing with their hearts. You can see that today.
Certainly, Malcolm O'Kelly, he's been known to come in the side once or twice at ruck time, and maybe luckily got away with it there. Referee trying to reprimand him, but hopefully, you know, Ireland will be able to get a bit of field position from this.
Brent Russell is on this left wing.
Time on.
Looks like Jack Faree is off.
This is a mark. Stay here. Stay hold. Stay hold. Stay hold.
So Ireland
Stay
have
hold. Engage.
the foot in. Just outside their 22. Foley
Use
at the
it,
base.
use it, no.
The referee says use it. Foley takes it up.
Please back, please back.
Stringer. O'Gara. Oh, that's a fine kick.
It's a great clearance. It's great for the forwards to come up after a hard scrum. It looked like they were on the back foot, but managed to just hold in enough time for Foley to break around the blind side and give O'Gara that bit of time to get a good field position. When you get up there and you're 20 metres ahead, it really lifts the players.
John Smith then.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay.
Stolen. Just what Ireland wanted. O'Gara to Wallace. He's a good ball carrier.
Back, stay back.
Good step as well. Now playing through O'Driscoll. Oh, they're struggling to hold him.
Yes, it's one.
But there's a turnover. Dupree looking short side. Russell, he's quick, but Byrne doesn't give him a chance. Penalty to South Africa. Hands in the ruck.
Number 6. It was a rack.
Yeah, Ireland can't afford to be giving away penalties. You know, Montgomery's kicking well. It also giving the South Africans good field position.
It's okay. Yes,
the Irish just have to adapt and organise their defence better. Have a bit of trust in the guys outside them. Slow the ruck ball down, yes, but not give away penalties.
What do you want, skipper, says Montgomery. Put it in the corner, says Smith. South Africa want to squeeze Ireland. But O'Driscoll nearly got away.
Maybe a bit harsh on Horgan there. He didn't really affect the ball coming back.
Dupree takes that one from the long throw-in. The Andrews plays scrum half and Victor Matfield takes the ball up.
Shaggy, come with me.
The ball is out, play on, says the referee. Wallace pounces on that one.
Heads off. No.
Penalty.
No, you can.
Going Ireland's way now.
Wallace is really giving the Irish a bit of go forward around the fringes. He's getting across the gain line, giving a good target for the other forwards to ruck over, and then, you know, making the South Africans make a mistake and give away a penalty like that.
O'Gara drills this one into touch, and Jack Faree's actually gone into the centres. Hubert is off.
Okay.
So it's Julies and Faree in the centres and Russell out on the left wing.
It's very interesting all season. Ireland barely had a shortened line out so they could have O'Driscoll get more space outside.
How many
but now they seem to have gone short after
Five.
maybe the couple of hiccups they were having last week.
Ball juggling about all over the place.
Yes. The first knock-on? The first knock-on is green.
The referee checking that it was the first knock-on that was green. South Africa put in.
Be imperative now.
The
Irish don't give them too much go forward in this scrum. They've been beginning to dominate, but maybe the South Africans just look to make a solid platform.
Under their Sozen. Passes out to Paulson, who comes off his blindside wing, and Driscoll gets hold of him.
It's okay, he was on the feet, he was okay. Will away, will away, will away.
And now it's been stolen by Ireland. Excellent work from Wallace. It's getting pretty tasty down there. Driscoll took a step into something earlier on, and Corrigan is right in the thick of it. Scalp Berger as ever. Isn't far away. Berger got a yellow for a swinging arm in the last test match. Everybody trying to blame each other.
Captain!
The atmosphere getting very tense down there. Memories of '98 in Pretoria maybe. But it looked like an Irish player on the ground might well have been interfered with a stamp.
Please back. Please back. Back please.
It looked as though pretty early on that Driscoll was grabbed by the throat.
Just have a word with both captains to tell the both teams to calm down.
Yes, but me I saw.
You saw that fine.
I saw a punch on number 1 green.
Number 1, that's
yes,
fine.
it will be a yellow card.
It's going to be a card out of the pocket, and Corrigan.
Captain, I blow my whistle.
Like it's
it was okay.
him that's going to be taking
and
a
you gave
walk.
a punch against him. I saw you. I saw you. I saw you. No. A yellow card against him.
Reggie Corrigan goes to the sin bin. Ireland are down to 14 men.
O'Connell there, stamping on Paulsa. Then Berger seems to be, and Corrigan maybe showing that punch. He seemed to be provoked, but it's difficult to see what actually provoked him to do so.
Left and then a right on Paulsa, but Paulsa's up and about, and so is Montgomery, who has the uprights firmly in his sights. Ireland will be keen just to get off the pitch for half time now.
Yes, I think South Africa have definitely had the best of this half. Ireland have looked dangerous once or twice, but in general have basically been just holding out.
Montgomery off the post. O'Gara, he was put under pressure, but the ball found touch eventually, so both O'Gara and Montgomery have hit the padding now. Ireland down to 14 men.
Wide please, wide.
A bit of a scramble defence by Ireland. O'Gara very little time and actually did quite well with that clearance.
Smith to Matfield, working around this front side with one of
Will away!
Dupree caught by Hayes. Eddie Andrews plays scrum half. Berger getting ahead of steam up. Sean Byrne gets hold of him second time round very effectively too. Van der Westhuizen playing with Witt. Russell, Julies in on the switch is Montgomery. Wonderful running from Montgomery. Free there. The ball is still good for the Springboks. The punches are still flying between Montgomery and O'Driscoll. Now they go back to their stations. The Springboks carry on. Driven back though. Russell, beautiful hands, looking to score in the corner. No! Free the man.
A lot of South African pressure for the last 10 minutes, and the Irish side just doing their best to hold out and narrowly getting into the corner.
But it's not been confirmed yet. They may be celebrating, but the referee has gone upstairs.
Here we see those great hands there. South Africa playing with that great width again, which stretches the defence. Easterby does very well. It looked like there may have been a foot in touch. Hard to see from that angle.
Furry seemed pretty confident. So's the announcer. Looked clean to me.
Looking for that angle, I think it might have been okay.
just what Ireland dreaded going into this
Julio,
half-time break. Montgomery is getting ready to convert. He didn't wait for confirmation of the TMO.
Again.
And the referee says, take it again. Jake White, I don't think realised that it actually went upstairs.
A lot of pressure on the referee that Montgomery kicks it over this time. So, but French referees in the past have been noticed for maybe a lax laissez-faire approach to the game, but really trying to clamp down and make sure he's got full authority. You see here, Easterby does very well, but doesn't manage to hold on. And yes, he was well in, he was nowhere near the touchline.
So Julio Cisantes said that is a try. He was the television match official. Joel Judge says, right, Montgomery, you're going to have to take that one again. He can do it all day, it makes no difference. Quite brilliant from Montgomery.
You know, kicking a conversion from the touchline once is a pretty big feat, but to do it twice in a row like that, exceptional kicking by Montgomery.
Brent Russell, the man, yeah.
Paul said, great vision to give the quick ball there, a bit of space. And the Irish defence was just too stretched before he bundled his way over.
Well, Smith would have been keen for the Springboks to take advantage of the 15 men he has to Ireland's 14. South Africa 20, Ireland 7.
Stay on your feet, please. Stay on your feet. Julio, c'est fini, Julio?
A very poor clearance by Dupree. Not really getting any field position there, giving Ireland a good position.
Please.
They look to be going for a short line out, with just only one person hanging out. Actually, David Wallace may be looking to bash him up through the middle.
O'Gara looks for the drop goal as the hooter sounds. There is the half-time whistle. So much to play for between both sides. What a strike from O'Gara. Absolutely perfect. The half-time score, the Springboks 20, Ireland 10.
They needed that late drop goal, didn't they? Because South Africa came back strong after a good start by Ireland. It is the Springboks that lead it by 20 points to 10 at half-time. The thoughts of the boys in the studio after the break. Half-time at the moment at Newlands, and Ireland going for their first ever win in South Africa. They trail by 10 points. The Springboks, though, again, it would seem outdoing them up front.
I think so. You know, they've definitely been stronger. We made some comments about bad decision making at the base of the scrum from the Irish point of view as well. But that only comes because there's big pressure being put on them in the scrum. Also, the driving of the line out last week was, you know, perhaps a little bit sort of pedestrian, and they've done it well when they've wanted to this year. But I mean, this game, but they haven't only done it. They've done some balls off the top as well, which has freed up the backs, and it makes a big difference.
This Schalkberger's good, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's been hitting, he's been carrying the ball with physicality, he's been hitting, stealing, getting up off the floor, and he really, I mean, he talks the good game, but he certainly walks it as well. He's been outstanding.
That's what you need. You need someone like that, and you can see it's buoying the sort of the Springboks pack. And I think, to be fair, the pick of the pack out there for Ireland is David Wallace. He's actually fighting them on his own at the moment. They've got to follow him more. They've got to really, really get into the Springbok pack in the second half. Like I said, kick the position. You're not going to do it from 80
because they're limited in the game.
They are, because you've got, you know, Jordan Murphy's not playing. All these guys that can go the length for you. There's only Brian O'Driscoll. Use him as a sort of decoy in a sense, but you're not going to do it 80 metres. Get down in the corner and attack from the 22. But it's got to come. The scrum half and the fly half, O'Gara and Stringer, have to control this. They have to control it.
But
we didn't get.
From the Irish perspective, the pack have to front up. Yeah, they have not fronted up in the test match and a half at this stage, and you can't keep on talking about the backs we're missing. Yeah. The pack have to give us a platform to work from, and we haven't.
What have you thought of Jaco van der Westhuizen's control from 10 today? A little bit greedy at times, his distribution?
Well, I think he probably had a 2-on-1 that he should have given. To be fair, the guy only caught...
This is it here.
Here it is. I think the guy just caught his leg and that's why he tripped. You know, he would have been away under the poles. But, you know, to be fair, ball going forward, he's got out to the centres and the wings. I think... you know, I think he's a wonderful player, Marius Joubert, but he knocked 2 of those balls through on the foot that he probably should have distributed to Brayton Paulser, and those were both the result of a good long pass from Van der Westhuizen, you know, going on to a good ball from the number 9. And you know, maybe with Jacques Fourie there now, he's going to be less sort of want to put the grubbers in and maybe take the guys on a bit.
Yeah, if he'd scored it, we might well have said brilliant. This is a few highlights of the first half being floated in by South African television at the moment. We didn't get a chance for predictions at the start. Now Ireland are 10 points down.
I would have said about
2010 at half time. 2010 at half time, Bob. Well done. That's very good. Yeah.
2 tries. I mean, if Ireland don't get the next score, it will be a very long day. The next 5-10 minutes are going to be the crucial bit because they're without Reggie Corrigan for the next 5 minutes of the game. If South Africa get the next score, get some confidence, their backs, Brent Russell is there, he can score from distance, Paulser. It could be a terrible long day, and the pack have to front up.
Another look at the first try. This is the Paulser try. He's pretty quick from a standing start, isn't he? One of the quickest in the world.
He is very, very quick. And one of the good things today is actually, you know, he's been caught a couple of times with the ball, but he's made the yards, and he was in there on a one-on-one against Reggie Corrigan as well. I don't know if I think he was a bit out of his division, but, it was certainly good fun.
And we're looking for more from Brent Russell, are we, in the second half? Because this guy's pretty quick
He's
as
a
well.
live wire, mate. You know, to have someone like that on the bench, and you know, everyone, it's an overrated statement, but a match winner, he is a match winner. We've seen him do it for South Africa, and I think he will relish his chance now with Joubert off. You know, it's just quality all around. And this is the other try from Fourie. But you know, when they get in the position, the Springboks look like they want to keep the ball. Sometimes they kick too much ball away, to be honest.
They're ready.
Hey.
Quick as that. Back to Paul and back to Will.
Okay.
Thanks, Simon. So the last 40 minutes of rugby for Ireland this season. Let's see what is left in the tank and what hunger remains. A place in history, the ultimate carrot. Can they be the first Irish side to conquer the Springboks in South Africa? Taken by Berger. Taken up there. Penalty, South Africa, immediately.
I know.
Yeah, very disappointing start for Ireland there. Berger, as he has done last game and again this game, to taking the Irish defence on. And he runs so hard, I don't know how long he's going to last in this game. It'll be quite a short career if he keeps going this way. The bang.
So Russell is on, Fourie is off now.
Green.
And Marius Joubert is back in these centres with Julies.
Wait. Green, Hooker. Open the gap. Open.
Matfield at the front, Dupree, Julies, Joubert pops it back to Julies, and this is good continuity from South Africa now.
It's a rack, it's off.
Dupree digs, Joubert wants it, working the short side, Van der Westhuizen, Montgomery spills it.
Knock on wide.
Very fortunate knock on for Ireland, looking very well stretched there. Great width by the South African team again and getting across the gain line continuously. Here we see it's great vision by Van der Westhuizen, and yeah, Montgomery just manages to.
A prop, please. A prop. I need a prop.
Marcus Horan is waiting to come on, and now he makes his appearance because, of course, Reggie Corrigan is still off
Number
in the
8,
sin
please.
bin.
Number 8.
And so Foley has to leave for the moment. Marcus Horan, a loose head.
This is a mark. Stay hold.
Big scrum for Horan, especially after losing his footing the last day before the South African pushover.
Use it. Okay.
Driven on by Ireland. Now Horan.
Nice, okay.
Stringer with the box kick. Montgomery goes up, but he's not going to take it because it hasn't gone far enough. But Horgan claims that one, but shuffled into touch.
A great tactic, the box kick with Shane Horgan's height. He can really get up, challenge for the ball, but unfortunately just couldn't manage to stay in field. We see Horgan outstretching Brent Russell, but 2-3 South African defenders all hitting him together. He had no hope really in staying in.
Taken by Davies to Dupree. Van der Westhuizen steaming onto that one. Inside was Skeltberger. And the penalty comes South Africa's way. Stray hand or two in there.
No.
The Irish defence really getting stretched. Needs to be trying to get in on the ball, maybe losing his footing, and again giving away a penalty. Wallace was out quickly, putting good pressure on, and just unfortunately, maybe with the man short, there's that extra bit of space around the back of the line out.
Berger taking it up. He's had a huge game again.
He is. He's so physical. He's every time you see him run in, you're sure he's going to be carried off. The Irish defence are hitting him incredibly hard, but he just needs to get up every minute and carry it again 2 minutes later.
That's what Ireland wanted. That's what they are reputed to be. Very good line-out thieves, and it's a good steal now, working their way 2 or 3 metres up. Counter drive though from the Springboks.
Use it, 9.
Ball driven up there now from Malcolm O'Kelly.
John Smith there, just like we saw last week. The South Africans are very slow to move away from the tackle, giving Ireland a good attacking position.
O'Gara inside to Hayes.
Heads off, yeah.
Pull past from Stringer, and O'Driscoll is under a little bit of pressure. Didn't get hold of that, and it goes straight to Poulser. Joubert flipped it inside, back to Poulser. Poulser looking infield now, straightened up by Dupree. All came from that poor pass from Stringer that O'Driscoll couldn't clear. Brilliantly stolen back by the Irish. O'Gara slices it. Montgomery goes back into his own half. Matfield, Russell looking on the outside. Wallace flicks it back, and now it's Stringer.
No advantage.
It's frenetic stuff.
Again, fortunate for Ireland, the ball spilling out during the tackle. A great rob earlier on by Paul O'Connell close to the line to save Ireland's bacon. You know, there's a lot of pressure coming straight through the spine of the Irish forward pack and inside backs, putting O'Driscoll under a lot of pressure.
But O'Driscoll will be pleased because Ireland are back to 15 men. Horan's foray onto the Newlands turf has ended for the moment, and Reggie Corrigan is back on, as is Foley. But Malcolm O'Kelly, 66 caps to his name, within 3 of the all-time record held by Mike Gibson, who's got 69, receiving attention.
3 off. Number 3. Number 3, White.
Great frame of his trots on.
Van der Linde, when he came on last week, we saw a more powerful South African scrum, and with more technicians. Van der Linde, a very powerful man, and we're looking to really go at Corrigan here.
No, please. No, I repeat again. It's crush and all, wait and get, okay?
Osler at the Ox. He had 2 years where he retired from rugby, 2000 to 2002, but the lure of the jersey brought him back. And he's playing really good rugby, but it's Ireland that get the penalty.
Yeah, Van der Linde there, trying to bring Corrigan down low and actually bringing the scrum down. It's a good call by the referee, and giving Corrigan a bit of confidence back in, getting the penalty against Van der Linde, as we saw Andrews give one away earlier against Corrigan as well.
Enter, and you don't move.
Here we see it. Van der Linde is looking to go low and just drives, his arm goes down, just drives Corrigan right into the ground. It was an easy call for the referee.
Paul O'Connell takes at the line out. O'Gara deciding to go, and that was excellent, and this is Maggs on his shoulder. Maggs looking to find Foley, which he does. Foley makes a few more metres.
Hands off.
Ireland beginning to explode. Stringer, Hayes. Good break from O'Gara. This is him again. Needs to be.
Ireland playing with a lot of wit like South Africa were doing earlier, creating a lot of gaps in the South African defence.
O'Gara dinks it through. Montgomery's under a lot of pressure. 4 Irish shirts climb all over him. They want to snuffle this ball. Springboks under a lot of pressure. Dupree waits. Paulser's there. Paulser does well, but he's sliced it, and the bounce goes Foley's way, thankfully for Ireland. Foley lines up the winger. Ireland on the attack. O'Gara comes back for Maggs. There was nobody outside. O'Gara. Montgomery tried to take that one. Knock on from the Springboks. Advantage to Ireland. Taken on now by O'Connell, trying to get a little bit of momentum. Stringer looks to go himself, then pops it back to O'Gara. O'Driscoll threads it through.
No advantage.
The referee will say no advantage. It's going to be a put into Ireland.
The Irish attack looking very tired now. When they lined out quite wide, they managed to stretch the South African defence, but there they're just going around the fringes, giving the South Africans easy targets to knock back.
O'Gara beginning to take that ball at full tilt.
Stringer feeds O'Gara well. He has a great vision, a handoff, and also sees Meg cloppering out the side.
Stay bunny.
Good drive though from the Springboks, and it's well taken by Wallace. Tackled by Berger. Stringer, O'Gara, O'Driscoll, Maggs deciding to go himself. Big handoff comes in, the ball spurts out, and it's still Ireland's ball, driving towards the Springbok line now.
Hands off!
Penalty Ireland.
Hands off wide. It was a rack.
That's great play by Ireland. When they actually get the ball quite wide and stretch the South African defence, they really find holes out there.
Number 13, finish.
Tyrone Howe wanted try number 2.
Okay?
But Ireland have the penalty. It's going to be a line-out catch and drive.
It's very important that Ireland get a solid platform. The South African defence, they're very strong on the ground. If the Ireland get a good catch, clean catch, the blockers seal it off well, get it to the back, and Shane Byrne hangs on the back of the ball and hopefully force their way over.
Seminal moment now in this test match. South Africa 20, Ireland 10. Ireland desperate to cut the lead. What a good opportunity now.
Stay.
Byrne throws to the front, and now Ireland organise themselves, try to drive their way over. It's up to the forwards at the moment. The ball is safely at the back, working their way around the Springboks. Use it, says the referee. Ireland still going. That was very close. O'Connell went for the try, but the ball has come back. Thumped downfield. Horgan runs it straight up. Ball comes back. O'Driscoll. He's so special in a broken field situation, but the Springboks pile up, and it was held.
Very unfortunate. O'Driscoll looks like he was caught for holding on too long. Trying to run out of the fence like that is always high-risk rugby. The South African press defence was very well organised and up very quickly. Put the Irish under, again, a lot of pressure. Here we see O'Connell. He was well out. It had been a good controlled maul, and sometimes maybe you're better off waiting and being a bit more controlled and going off maybe in numbers to try and drive over. Here again we see O'Driscoll. He's holding the ball. Easterby's on it as well there, not giving Berger a chance to try and win it.
All that Ireland pressure comes to nothing then. What it does mean in the end is Montgomery is slap in front and makes no mistake. South Africa 23, Ireland 10. it's going to take a very special performance now from the visitors to turn this one around.
Yeah, South Africa are definitely in the ascendancy. Ireland seem to be just hanging in there, but then again, we are getting good field positions and we're getting quite close to the line on a number of occasions. So if the Irish pack can just try and keep the ball down in the South Africa half and try and retain possession, they can still maybe make a miraculous comeback at this stage.
Davids climbs into the air. Remember, no Bakis Botha failed to recover from an ankle injury. Dupree, Montgomery, put under pressure by Wallace.
Again, Ireland, very important line out here. They need to get up very early, get a good clean ball. And let's maybe start moving the ball a bit wider and stretch the South African backs, giving Maggs, O'Driscoll and Howe a bit of room outside.
Shane Byrne wants the dry ball, the non-greasy ball, and he gets it now. Beautiful take from O'Kelly, Stringer, O'Gara, Horgan now lines up Julies. Julies up to the task. Play on, says the referee. O'Gara in a bit of a cul-de-sac there, and Berger gets hold of him. Crucially, Ireland need to get this ball back. Maggs, O'Kelly. Hands in there. Referee saw that. Penalty Ireland.
Good patience by the Irish side. Went down the blind side there to O'Gara when really it was open to come on, but they held on to the ball, went back. Maggs found O'Kelly in the midfield, giving short targets and forcing the South Africans into giving away a penalty. Now hopefully O'Gara can find some good field position and Ireland can start building on the line out.
The field position is on the South African 22 now.
Here we see O'Gara. It's a lot of beef to be hit with Durant and Berger.
Byrne to the tail. Stringer gets hold of that one and gives it to his forwards pretty quickly. O'Kelly the man to unload it. Stringer again. O'Gara. Maggs got the ball and rolled away from the contact. But a small knock on at the line out gives Ireland the scrum back. No advantage.
Yeah, the Irish scrum has been coming under increasing pressure, but they've got an extra forward back on. When Corrigan was off for the 10 minutes, that man short really showed the weakness as an area of attack.
The ball squirts out. Ireland just about regather. Not the platform that Stringer wanted, but he has it now. O'Kelly. Knock on from Stringer at the base, and it relieves the pressure that Ireland were trying to put on the Springboks.
Very unfortunate. Stringer, normally always very consistent around the fringes, just seemed to knock it off the Corrigan, I think it was, an ankle. Needs to keep his eye on the ball before looking to see where he's passing it.
Well, the Springboks are chasing a basic but challenging goal. 3 wins from 3 against the Northern Hemisphere opposition. Wales the next match, of course. Well, the Springboks are a third of their way there, but Ireland will be keen to turn this one around. Guy Easterby is on, and so is David Humphreys.
Together.
Yes, Guy Easterby is a much more physical scrum half. Also gives you a bit more of a defensive option and a running option to link with forwards. Of course, Humphreys coming in from the bench will have seen some weaknesses maybe in the South African defence he can exploit.
Use it!
Dupree, Van der Westhuizen. That's safe.
The big South African pack, they're just performing a fabulous platform for Van der Westhuizen to dictate and control this game so far.
It's worth remembering that over half this South African team are 25 or younger. Ireland have just 3, the 2 centres and O'Connell. So whereas the Springboks are far from their prime, some say Ireland are pretty close to theirs.
Okay.
Byrne throws to the middle. Corrigan, who's played 10 minutes less rugby than everyone else, takes it up. Little show and go from Humphreys.
Heads off, 1-1.
Over the gain line.
1-1. Stay back, don't play, Uke.
Needs to be O'Connell.
Knock on.
O'Kelly was inside him. Knock on, says the referee. Durant flips it to Brent Russell.
The first is green.
But the first knock on was from Ireland.
2 knock-ons, but the first is green. Scrum white.
It's these little errors that are costing Ireland. They can't quite throttle South Africa and take points.
Ireland under a lot of pressure and need to hang on to every bit of possession to keep taking it to the South African side.
Dupree looking inside. Looks like there's a turnover. Threaded through now by Easterby, and back goes Montgomery. He has got a nuclear boot, Montgomery, and he's using it.
It didn't look like there was anything on there for Easterby. Put the ball down long, but then again, a fine return kick. Easterby rarely gets a lot of game time from the bench for Ireland, and with about 20 minutes, it's I'm sure he's going to make the most of it.
So just to confirm, it's Guy Easterby, the older brother of Simon, who's playing blindside in at scrum half. There he is. Humphreys, Maggs, and Humphreys came round on the roll, but the Springboks saw that one. The penalty going Ireland's way.
Please, too many mistakes. Too many mistakes, captain of the same team.
Here we go. There's trouble for the Springboks.
Please.
A yellow card being shown.
10 minutes.
And Julies leaves the pitch now to think about it. Ireland have to take advantage of this next 10-minute spell.
Definitely. There's a bit of light at the end of the tunnel now after that sin binning. Might open up a bit more space in the midfield and give O'Driscoll a bit more time on the ball. South African defence will be coming up very hard and physical, and here we see the wraparound by Humphreys was well read. Julies hangs on to him, but there he is, he's straight in again, hands in the rug.
So Julies off for 10 minutes. Smith will be pleased that there's a 13-point cushion. Shane Byrne to throw in to Wallace. Wallace staying strong. Eventually brought down by Berger. Guy Easterby. Humphreys. Oh, thumping tackle. And a knock-on as a result.
It's okay.
Ooh.
Knock-on green.
Tyrone Howe, the man that got smashed to the floor by Maris Joubert.
A very hard line by Hull, but
no ball.
What a hit.
Crush on all.
Seems to be fine getting up from that. It looked like it could have been a bit more trouble. Should really have held on to the ball though.
Use it.
Dupree. It looked as though he may have gone inside his 22 there. No matter, because the ball is still alive. Howe. Nice footwork. Bought Maggs a little bit of time. Quinton Davies comes thumping in with the tackle. Guy Easterby to Duffy. He's hit that one high and long. And Westhuizen has a lot of time. But he
1-1 is alright.
makes quite a hash at that.
Good boot by Duffy and a good chasing line as well, which put him under a bit of pressure. There's no chance to counter-attack, and forcing a bit of a miss kick there.
Not the most convincing of kickers, Jacob van der Westhuizen, and that's why Montgomery and last match, Happy de Toy often slotted into the pocket to hit those defensive kicks. Simon Easterby, the from Natalie Scarlett, receiving attention. The crowd think it's all over, but Ireland have a quarter of this match to pull it from the fire.
Yeah, Marcus Horan again coming on. A bit unfortunate the last scrum there. Corrigan seemed to put a bit of pressure actually on the South African scrum for maybe the first time of the game. But Horan will be out to prove himself. Durant creating a lot of panic in the Irish scrum on the Irish ball.
Byrne to O'Kelly. Guy Easterby, Humphreys, Wallace.
Release the ball, release!
Wallace and Berger have been at it all day. Driven up now by Guy Easterby.
It's okay.
It's okay, says the referee. Davids came steaming through. O'Connell makes a couple of metres trying to get that momentum. Humphreys came off a South African boot. Slight deflection there.
The ball is green, yeah.
That's worked out very well for Ireland. The block down giving Ireland a good throw-in position here again. But they've struggled in the maul to get any momentum against the big South African forwards. It'll be interesting to see what they'll do again here. They're a bit further out than they were last time when O'Connell was forced into touch.
So just confirmation Corrigan's off and Horan is on. Time off and just a chance for Ireland to triple check their moves. Simon needs to be receiving attention again. Alan Quinlan is on the bench. He can come on. A moment of magic here from Ireland. A 7-pointer would really turn this game into a cracking last few minutes.
Yes, Ireland have done very well. I think they've been under an awful lot of pressure. Again, could have maybe got a score or two if they had a bit of luck and a foot in from touch. But you can see from the stats there how the South African side are going a lot wider and really stretching the Irish defence. There'll be a tight decision here whether Ireland go for the conservative catch and maul or maybe try and move it out wide, and that might be the better idea, especially with a player down.
Humphreys, O'Driscoll is lined up at 12, Maggs outside him, Duffy and Howe out wide. Taken by the forwards, and Horan comes round on the peel. Evades the first tackler. Easterby, Humphreys, dab through, O'Driscoll's after it! O'Driscoll has got it! Oh, brilliant!
That's a great score by O'Driscoll. Great vision by Humphreys as well. Ireland had tried to maul over from close distances before, decided to go for the tap down. Horan had looked like he'd fluffed it. Then the ball went wide out. Great dink through. And O'Driscoll composed very well to take that ball. It's a great kick off the side of the foot. Humphreys, of course, been in the stands watching the game, has looked at the South African defence coming up very hard, especially close to the line, and maybe spotted something in behind for a chip through, and O'Driscoll reacted incredibly well.
Humphreys makes 7 from 5. The skipper knows, thanks to Humphreys' dink and O'Driscoll's touchdown, we have a belting finish to this match.
Yes, it's very interesting to see there. There didn't seem to be any sweeper. Montgomery seemed to be well out of position, not expecting that kick through at all.
South Africa 23, Ireland 17. A converted try for Ireland would put them back in the lead. They must have a zero tolerance for errors. O'Driscoll senses something is on, and he was right. Horgan, Duffy flicks it. Referee says play on. Maggs down on the ball.
It's okay.
Guy Easterby waits. Humphreys.
Okay, play on, play on. It's okay for me.
Yeah, Ireland realising now that it isn't a case of trying to hang on to the end of the game and try and just stay in the game. There's actually a chance now they can win it. But again, if they go wide like that, move the ball, find a space, which we've seen so many times in the South African backs out wide, they can really put the South Africans under pressure.
taken by Davids. Smith comes across, caught by O'Kelly. Dupree, indecisive, and gets over the gain line. The Springboks working it close for the moment.
Please. Go back.
Slow ball. Dupree and Westhuizen playing for position. Howe inside his 22, but runs outside it. And Ireland are beginning to give this one a rip. Duffy, Humphreys, O'Driscoll's outside him, so's Horgan. The tackle comes in though. O'Driscoll hasn't finished. Ireland are steaming into the South Africans now.
Don't play wide, don't play.
Easterby, Humphreys, Maggs. Pass wasn't the greatest. Knock on from Foley.
Knock on Green.
Yeah, Foley just getting a bit too flat. You know, the pass was quite poor and having to reach down for it. And unfortunately, a knock on. Ireland looking very good on the attack there once they start moving the South African forwards around.
Ireland spreading it a bit wider, and maybe the likes of Ulsterant are beginning to blow a little bit.
Please, you want
Yes,
a penalty kick?
I think Ireland, as they showed in the last 10 minutes of the game in Bloemfontein, when they stretched them, the South African forwards don't seem to like to go from running from ruck to ruck, from one side of the pitch to the other.
Please, good position immediately. No.
So the two replacements on this near side, Van der Linde and Horan, going head to head. Hayes and Durant continue their battle. Smith and Byrne the meat in the sandwich. Joubert takes it short. Penalty to the Springboks.
Please, well, not like this.
That's just what Ireland didn't want. They were beginning to get a bit of a foothold, getting a bit of momentum together. Now not rolling away from the ball, I think, has given South Africa a very good field position again.
Montgomery says to his forwards, get up there, get in position, but the Irish are really rolling now.
Yeah, Humphreys, I think, has spotted a few gaps, has realised that Ireland's only hope is really to start moving it wide, and he's given a bit of oomph into the Irish side.
But phenomenal covering there from Durant. Dupree, Joubert tries to blast a hole, as does Smith. Scoutberger, he knocked that on, and Ireland want to take advantage here. O'Driscoll, Gavin Duffy couldn't quite take it. He knows how close he was.
Again, Ireland looking so dangerous out there. Duffy has had a great start coming in at such late notice.
No advantage.
Will be very upset about that. Maggs, big head in the midfield, and again Horgan reading it very well, getting in there. O'Driscoll's good vision. Duffy, unfortunately, just a bit too flat and difficult to take that one.
Hold, stay hold.
Ireland are finding holes in that wide channel. Humphreys belts it upfield. Montgomery hoists that very, very high. Humphreys again has no angle, hits that one long. Russell looking to counter now. Dupree. It's loosening up and the holes are there. Which side can exploit it?
Don't play, Green!
Pulsar, Matfield, and the Westhuizen nearly through.
Yeah, Wallace just seemed to miss him. The South Africans again stretching him out, but good cover defence from Horgan. Juli's coming back onto the pitch. Maybe Ireland's advantage out wide might have changed now. Might have to look at trying to exploit another area rather than out wide.
Jerry Britz is on. But crucially, Ireland took advantage of that sin binning and got that 7-pointer. O'Driscoll's try and converted by Humphreys. Now the grunt up front, trying to work into the guts of the Springboks pack now.
Release 8 wide, release 8 wide.
The box kick from Easterby. The ball is all over the place, and it's Berger that steams up the middle. Swamped by Irish shirts, but it's good ball for the Springboks. Van der Westhuizen clips that. Duffy. 3 or 4 Springboks shirts there. And South Africa are playing illegal rugby, and it's a pressure reliever for Ireland. But deciding to play from their own 22. Brilliant from Humphreys, and here is O'Driscoll. Mags. How? Being cut down by Joubert. Was he hit late? Dupree. Inside to Montgomery. Desperate from the Springboks. Almost quite brilliant from Ireland.
Yeah, Ireland, even Julie's back on the pitch. Ireland are looking very dangerous out wide. With some great running, great handling. Unfortunately, Howe didn't have the angle there. And a good kick ahead anyhow, keeping Ireland a good field position. Here you see it, it's a great draws the man in, then goes outside, feeds the ball well. O'Driscoll, great vision, gives to Mags. As the ball comes to Howe, he had to slow down a bit and reach for it, and he was never really going to beat the cover defence there. Marginally late, but I think the man was actually committed.
Joubert with crucial cover tackling.
Time on, please. Time
Ireland
on.
just want that 7-pointer. How? Not so far away there.
It's a great position for Ireland to be in. They've been under a lot of pressure, and at times things were looking as if South Africa would pull a lot further ahead. But now they're in a great position to maybe pull off a try
stay 15.
and go ahead.
Tap back. And mopped up brilliantly by Easterby. Byrne piles forward. This is better from Ireland. Humphreys hits it high and wide. Horgan looks to collect, but it's Montgomery that gets his hands on it. He's knocked it on. Advantage to Ireland now.
No advantage. Knock on white.
It's on a knife edge.
Great vision from Humphreys. Again, using every weapon Ireland have at their disposal. Shane Horgan, 6'5", out in the wing. He gets up there and puts a lot of pressure on. And you know, just a bounce there could have had Gavin Duffy in for a score.
Yeah, it's Wallace's tackle that managed to knock the ball forward. This cauldron is bubbling. Ireland are so close to cutting down that lead. Gio Cronje is on for Quinton Davids. Gio Cronje, the brother of Jack Cronje, the 8.
Your captain is injured.
Brian O'Driscoll is down for the moment.
Time off again.
But Humphreys seems to have kick-started something here.
He certainly has.
Yeah.
As he alluded to before, it's very good coming down with a clear head from the stands. You've seen the weaknesses, you see the strengths on the Irish side, and he's just seems to be playing with them, you know, looking where to exploit the South African defence. This scrum here gives Ireland a very good platform, but they've been really struggling. If they can get a platform here, you know, there's definitely options outside, and South African defence does look a bit edgy out there.
No backs replacements remain on the bench for Ireland, and O'Driscoll will not go off easily.
No.
Set piece move.
Engage.
Can they carve up the Springboks here?
Stay hold. Engage.
And get that 7 points that'll take them into the lead. Platform needed to start with.
Again.
They'll get another go at it.
Is South Africa really working on the right-hand side of the scrum, trying to twist it, giving Ireland no angle. It's a massive scrum here for Hayes, especially to just lock it in.
Knock on.
Again, very good pressure from the South African forwards. Durant living up to his reputation there with some fearsome scrummaging and giving the back row a very good position to get in amongst the Irish back row and disrupt ball.
Engage. Use it.
Taken up by Cronje. Dupree. Montgomery. The threat isn't over from Ireland, not by a long chalk.
There's a lot of experience in this Irish side. They pulled off some very memorable victories in the past. If they can just hang in and just keep their field position here and keep the pressure on, well then there are the players there that can finish off from short distances anyhow.
Ireland, of course, chasing history as the first side to win here in South Africa. Advantage being played to Ireland, and Shane Byrne drives up.
Advantage over.
Easterby. Humphreys. Wallace.
Hands off. Okay.
O'Driscoll. Caught by Brits.
Wide.
Easterby short to Hayes. Sucking in the fringe defenders. Humphreys. Maggs. Such a strong runner. Ball comes back. Humphreys. Howe will cut back in.
Knock on Green.
But a knock on from Ireland.
Knock on Green.
Yes, second and third time Howe has been hit very hard and the ball has spilled out. There's a bit of dew on the ground there. Very unfortunate. Ireland had been, keeping the ball, recycling very well, tiring the South African forwards by moving them about, and hoping for a gap to open up for them. Now a good clearance opportunity for South Africa.
Use it.
Knock on.
Okay.
So there'll be a reset. The last and only time, of course, South Africa have lost to Ireland was in 1965, 9-6 at Lansdowne Road.
Please keep bounding.
Will we witness something very special in the dying minutes here? Dupree hits it long behind Duffy. Ireland have shown they're very happy to counter from deep. Duffy decides to hammer this one high, looking to collect himself rather, and Wallace has got hold of it. O'Connell. Easterby, Duffy, taken by Howe. Now driven up a few metres, presented beautifully. Wallace punches his way upfield.
On the feet, Green! Stay back!
Easterby getting frustrated, he wanted quicker ball than that. Humphreys playing for position, but the bounce of the ball didn't quite work for him. Montgomery has time. Kept in by Duffy. Easterby. He's looking for position, but only finds Jacob van der Westhuizen. Joubert's inside van der Westhuizen. He decides to hit that one long. Wow. That was close.
Ireland had a lot of field position there for the last 5-10 minutes. Now this is South Africa have a nice foothold in the Irish half. Their line has been going very well. A beautiful kick, just getting the bounce perfectly.
The bounce of that ball breaking Irish hearts. They know it's such a long way back from here.
Wait. Same number, okay.
Tony Spreadbury, the touch judge on this near side, deeming that it didn't go down on the full. Close call. Durant flips it to Cronje. Maybe the Springboks can finish with a sparkle. Julies, inside ball, advantage, and Ireland might try and counter from here.
It was in the same time.
Knock on from White.
No advantage.
No advantage.
Look on white.
It's a pulsating finish.
South Africa looking to keep the ball down here now and try and keep the Irish side and play down close to their line. The only option for Ireland is a quick turnover, and let's try and move it wide and counter-attack, where they have looked very dangerous.
Okay, thanks.
Again, the Irish scrum has been struggling for most of the second half against the South Africans, so there'll be a big scrum needed here to try and get them back into the game and back down into the South African half.
John Smith, the South African skipper, has been receiving attention.
It's okay, Captain.
But there have been some big performances from some up-and-coming players. Skulkberger, he's stepped up to the mark again today.
He certainly has, but David Wallace on the Irish side has been all over the pitch as well, carrying the ball very well, but also recycling and tackling.
Please, your shoulder, please. Your shoulder with a good landing, I want.
Again, a messy scrum, targeting Hayes.
You together, okay?
On the right-hand side.
No, stay hold. Stay
hold.
Durant. Engage. No, please.
The clock is ticking. This isn't really what Ireland want, but they need to get that platform first and foremost.
Russian hold. Engage. Okay. No, again.
Another 30 seconds go by.
Unfortunate for the Irish side, that scrum actually looked quite solid, but unfortunately it's back down. Again, the clock running down as well.
Foley to Easterby, and now Horgan using his presence to take it up. Humphreys, O'Driscoll. Joubert saw him coming. Ireland trying some magic from deep in their own 22. Easterby. O'Connell, driven round the fringes. They can't give this ball away, Ireland now. Play on, says the referee. Humphreys pops the ball inside. It's O'Callaghan. Humphreys. It came off Wallace's face, I thought. But the referee says it's a knock-on.
Unfortunate there. Ireland really needed to keep the ball, and maybe something was on there as they stretched the South Africans a bit wider.
Well, Ireland have given it a heck of a rip in the last match of a very, very long season. They've shown real guts and determination away from home as we go into injury time. But there's a penalty to South Africa, just as Ireland thought they'd won a crucial scrum.
Very unfortunate. Horan was caught for driving in and having no bind, but it looked like Van der Linde had also gone in, and a very good Irish scrum and winning a ball against the head.
So there's only one decision to be made from the Springboks, and that is Percy Montgomery to kill off any hopes that Ireland might have. This penalty, of course, would take them beyond a converted try. John Smith will know that, as will the coach, Jake White.
Very unfortunate Irish scrum for just one of maybe two times today. They managed to put a bit of pressure, win the ball, but unfortunately it's gone over to Montgomery.
It's over, and there is the final whistle. It was a gallant effort by Ireland, but the Springboks have won. It's South Africa 26, Ireland 17.
So Ireland couldn't quite pull back the deficit. The Springboks win again, and our busy summer rugby on Sky Sports is now well underway, and it just keeps on coming.